Welcome back to the Jackie Griffin Show, and we are joined on set with an awesome lady. Her name is Miss Lorraine Lolo Milliner.
And everybody knows me as Lolo.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on the show.
We're so happy that you're here. Tell us a little bit about Lolo.
Well, I am originally from St. Thomas Virgin Islands.
Wow.
Have you ever been?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I'm inviting both of you to St. Thomas Virgin Islands.
Mm-hmm.
Born and raised in St. Thomas Virgin Islands. I graduated, I'm not going to tell my age, but and I went to Virginia State College. It's now Virginia State University.
Okay.
I started in psychology. And something about psychology didn't really grab me. And I said, I need to be in something else. I went to Chicago, University of Chicago, Illinois Circle, and I walked into this media center, and it was like, you're home.
Wow.
So I stopped with psychology. I start with the media. When I got out of media, actually, I went home to St. Thomas on a visit. And I started working part-time with a television station. And I wanted to be there. I says, I'm not going back to Chicago. I left everything in Chicago, a full apartment, full of furniture, stayed in the Virgin Islands, did television, was at home, listening to the radio, and said, I want to do radio. Went up to the radio station, and they had just fired someone.
Wow.
So it was, yes, the timing was great. It was, and then this other guy came to apply for the job. The program director was a gentleman, and I guess he weighed lady, male. He decided to give me the job.
Little favor.
God is good.
God is good, and he might thought it was some fringe benefits there too. So anyway, I sat with him for about, I would say, a week on his show. He did 2 to 6. He trained me. One day I walked in and he said, "You ready?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm ready." Put me on the air. At that time we played records. I was queuing up the records on the air. I was really messing up. He came, he said, "What are you doing?" So he put me overnights. He says, "I'm gonna put you overnights and you get your act together." So he put me on overnights, and in 2 months I had moved up to middays and became the music director of the radio station.
Wow.
Wow, congratulations.
While at the radio station, I was a manager of the #1 club in the Virgin Islands. You've heard of Studio 54 in New York? Well, they had Studio 54 in the Virgin Islands. So I was a radio announcer and managing Studio 54 in the Virgin Islands.
What I say about it in the Virgin Islands, you got about 15 jobs, right?
Eh?
So that was just 2 of how you got 13 more to go, right?
No. They say that about Jamaicans, not
Right.
Virgin Islanders.
That is awesome. That's an
Right.
awesome testimony, especially for a female in this industry.
And in being in the Virgin Islands is but so much you can do in radio, because what drives radio is businesses, as you know, and commercial. So I moved from the Virgin Islands. I tried to get into radio in New York, and they was like, "Where are you from? You better go down south and work your way back up north."
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. So I went down to a friend of mine was working at a radio station in Orlando, Florida. And she was moving to another radio station in another city. So that gave me an opportunity. I went to Orlando, Florida, did radio, and I don't know if you heard of Jack the Rapper. He was the first black radio announcer. He had Jack the Rapper conventions. They were a big thing in Atlanta at the time. His home base was Orlando, and he heard me on the radio. And he says, "You know what? I need to get you out of here. You're very good," and get you to another market. And he became my angel. He got me to Georgia. So I worked.
ATL, huh?
Yeah. Well,
Augusta?
Augusta, Georgia. You familiar with Augusta, Georgia?
I'm familiar with your bio.
The whole. Oh.
And I'm familiar with Augusta as well. My sister used to live in Augusta.
James Brown.
Yeah, right there on the what's the Bobby Jones Parkway,
Okay.
right by the golf course at. She was right
Okay.
behind the PGA golf course.
Okay.
So I used to go down there all the time in the early 90s to visit my sister a lot.
And from Augusta, Georgia, I actually ran from Augusta, Georgia. You know how they say that people hear you on the air and they feel that they know you?
Mm-hmm.
I had a listener and he was in prison. He would write me a letter every week. Then he wrote me a letter saying, you know, you say you, because I closed my show, Lolo loves you. You say you love me, but you're not writing me back. So I went to a club one night, and on my way home, this car was behind me and the headlights came on. And I had a friend with me who was just laying back. You know how your chair comes up, and as soon as he came up, the car reversed. And I got a letter saying, I know where you live and the car you drive.
Wow.
And with that, I knew it was time to leave Augusta, Georgia.
He said, "Oh, love, real good."
And he was right. He knew the kind of cars. It's not a negative about being in the business,
Right.
because there's different people with different mentalities out here.
Right.
So I moved to South Carolina, and
Just
South Carolina,
20 minutes over the line.
yes, and the radio station, no, Charleston, South
Charleston,
Carolina.
okay,
Yeah, it is a few.
Yeah,
If you go in a certain direction.
Yes, they're going 20.
Yeah.
That's right.
Moved to Charleston, South Carolina. That radio station folded, and I came up here, and I pursued WHUR. Nothing was happening then. I went to Radio 1, and at that time, the operations manager was Ray Boyd, and he actually created a position for me 22 years ago.
Wow.
Yes. Started part-time and full-time, and it's really been a blessing. When I walked through that door the first time, it felt like deja vu, like you've been here before. Yeah, I thought that was all spiritual. That God was leading me in the right direction, because I've been here ever since and loving it.
So you know a friend of ours,
And who's that?
Miss Sheila Stewart.
Sheila Stewart.
She was at Radio 1 for 30-some years.
Okay, in Baltimore?
No, in
DC.
DC.
In DC, I've heard of Sheila Stewart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she's a great friend of ours.
But I love radio and I love Baltimore, and I thank you so much for making my show the #1 listened to show
Wow.
with adults 30 to 64.
So what
Yes,
is your show about? Tell us what your show is
My
about.
show is a love show,
Ah.
and I tell everyone that God is love, because I go to this church, and the pastor, he asked, how many people listen to Lolo on Magic 95.9? No one raised their hand. My pastor and I had a conversation about love music. I said, you know, God is love. I say, Pastor, I want to ask you a question. And it's a personal question. When you're with your wife, what kind of music do you listen to? You know, and he was like, oh, I love Luther Vandross. The deacon said, I love Barry White. There you go.
Love music.
So he asked the question again in church, and he says, you know, I had a conversation with Lolo, and I really listen. I love Luther Vandross. How many people listen to the show? Almost everybody's hand went.
They weren't going to tell you
yeah,
before, right? You can give a
Exactly.
shout out to your church and your pastor.
Okay, Pastor Charles Bennett. Hi, how are you? I love your church. I feel at home at the church, and I feel free to worship. Thank you so much. God's Will Apostolic Ministry. We call it GWAM.
Awesome.
Yes, GWAM in
Awesome.
Essex.
Awesome.
So let me ask you a question. Where does the name Lolo come from?
I really got the name from my parents. My first name is Lorraine, and they doubled Love.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not a made-up name at all. Yeah.
Okay. I
Came
thought maybe
from my
when your
parents.
girlfriends created
No.
gave you a name, but the parents gave it to you.
Right.
That's good. That's good. And Your parents still alive? They still here with us?
My father left us in 2005.
Sorry to hear that.
Yes. I'm a caregiver with my mom now. She'll be 86 next month.
Awesome.
Yes. Every time I get to spend Christmas or Thanksgiving with her at this time, I feel really, really blessed.
Amen.
And speaking of my father, I started an event in the Virgin Islands, Healthy Encores Lifestyle Festival. Healthy Encores is my nonprofit organization, and it was started because of my dad. My dad died of complications of diabetes in 2003 in my home here in Maryland.
You know, diabetes is a tremendous disease that we all get affected from. Somebody in our families are affected from.
Yes.
And I knew for almost 30 years my father, I didn't know that he has diabetes. I used to see these little bottles in the refrigerator, and I'm like, so I found, I said, Mom, what's these little bottles?
Yeah.
And she said, it's insulin. I said, what are they? She said, it's for your father. I said, what do you need them for? He said, he has sugar. I said, oh, I never knew he had sugar. Matter of fact, I didn't even know what sugar was. I thought it was the sugar that you got out of I thought it was sugar you got out of, you got out of the bag.
Yes.
But, after learning about what the illness and disease what sugar brought to us, I said, what, I didn't want that to become me. I didn't want to have the type of illnesses and everything. So
many
certain things we need to do to make sure that we stay away from that.
And it's a disease that's curable if you change your diet. Simple as that. Just change your diet. And that's something that I'm trying to educate people about. In the Virgin Islands, the festival that I do, Healthy Encores, the main focus is diabetes. And it's making people aware of a healthy lifestyle. You can be alive, but not living.
Correct.
Say that again?
You can be alive, but not living. Not living a full life.
Yeah, you hear that? Take advantage of every opportunity and live, right?
Yes, that's
And
right.
since you talked about it and you brought it up, I have the flyer here for your 2015 Healthy Encores Lifestyle Festival in the Virgin Islands. Tell us a bit about it.
Well, the Healthy Encores Lifestyle Festival, the Healthy Encores is a nonprofit organization. Lifestyle Festival is for profit, and that deals with entertainment. If you look at the back of the flyer, you see all of the activities that happens in the Virgin Islands. We have entertainment, we have golfing, shopping tours, beach parties. July 16th, we have a VIP party. The VIP party is usually for the staff, our sponsors, potential sponsors, movers and shakers. And then we have Friday, we started a golf tournament. We call it a golf outing. We want people to just come out and enjoy a golf outing. We started that last year. That's on Friday. On Saturday, we have the health fair. And Saturday night, we have a concert. Then Sunday, we have a beach party. And next year, we have Full Force. Have you ever heard of the group Full Force? Lisa and the Cult Jam.
Full Force breakdown.
Full Force happens to be my cousin. Hi, Bow-Legged Lou.
Okay.
They were originally born in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands.
Oh, yeah?
Left there at the age of like 2. Haven't performed in the Virgin Islands in their 30-year career.
Wow.
So this is like a homecoming.
For them.
Right.
And they are so happy to be coming home. And since the festival is around health, Paul Anthony is in cancer remission. He was given a stem cell transplant in 2012 from his brother Bow-Legged Lou.
Wow.
We have formed the entire weekend around those guys. They're going to talk to the people about the importance of being healthy and staying healthy. 2 members of Full Force have diabetes. So we have definitely planned the entire weekend around those guys. They're going to entertain and they're going to tell people about the importance of being healthy and staying healthy.
You're another keynote speaker and another.
And you guys are invited to come. Yeah, that's right.
Is a keynote speaker
And actually,
and is a healthy guru.
And she told me her birthday is around that time.
July 21st.
Yes. So you
And
can,
also, I am a person who lives with diabetes. I'm not
Okay.
the one who I have to use insulin. Mine is the too much sugar, not enough sugar. So
what do you use in that case?
you don't do anything if you can control it by weight.
Okay,
and your diet.
Yeah,
and so that's what I've done. So
Okay.
that's been over 10 years now. So you can live with it if you do what you're supposed
I'm
to.
plugging a plug. Here's your speaker. Here's your speaker right here.
But yes,
I want
yes.
people to go to our websites. Very informative. www.healthyencores.org. That's www.healthyencores.org or www.lifestylefestival.com. That's lifestylefestival.com. One interesting thing, St. Thomas Virgin Islands, you do not need a passport.
Oh wow, didn't know that. Okay.
Right. There's 3 islands that's owned by the U.S., St. Thomas, St. John, and St. Croix.
Yes, that's right.
With those 3 islands, you don't need a passport to come there.
Just fly straight in.
Just fly straight in.
Why
It's
you
about a
so-
3-hour plane ride.
From here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
right to-
Yeah, you have to stop in a hub. Sounds like you've been there before. You have. Which island?
We'll talk offline.
Okay.
I might get in trouble. I've been to a lot of the islands.
Yes, we're encouraging people to book now because the flights are reasonable.
Right.
The closer you get, the prices keep going up.
Right.
So we don't take care of airfare. You book your own airfare. We take care of your hotel, ground transportation to and from the airport, and your concert ticket is also included in the price. So for that information, you need to go to the website www.lifestylefestival.com. Come on, book now. Enjoy beautiful Virgin Islands. I mean, the beaches are gorgeous. The weather, nothing like the States, folks. The coldest it gets in January, December, January, is probably about 70, 69 at night.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What about the food? I love to eat.
You love to eat? Yeah. Well, you love, our main thing is like fish, seafood. Yeah, you'd love the seafood.
Right out the water.
Yes. Yeah. Have you ever heard of Wilkes?
No, ma'am.
Wilkes come in his shell. Conch. You've heard of conch?
No, I haven't.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
You probably had some while he was in the Virgin
I
Islands.
had a variety of Virgin Island food while I was there. And
Yeah.
it was very delicious.
Yes.
I'm a seafood lover, so
Yeah, me too.
Me too. I'm a
I'm trying to
seafood
get
lover
them some
myself.
alligators. They kind of
Like
scary.
Alligators, just the sound of that, right?
You know alligator?
No.
Oh, alligators is delicious.
No.
And you from the Virgin Islands?
Yes, and you know, my mom always used to tell me when I was growing up, "Do you live here?" Because she would tell me to go somewhere, and I was like, "Where's that?" She said, "You live here?" Then I didn't like a lot of the island food. Like, have you ever heard of kalaloo?
No.
Yeah, I do not like kalaloo at all. Yeah.
You don't?
Kalaloo, fonji is from the Virgin Islands. I don't like that either. So my mom was like, "Are you really from the Virgin Islands? You are a different
it's
child."
Good food. It's
Yeah.
different. It's a taste you have to acquire. But once you sample it and taste it, you're like, it's very good.
Awesome. So what other events or things that you're doing here in the community that you want our viewers to know about?
Basically, the health fair, we have partnered with some sororities here in Maryland, where we do health fairs with them.
Okay.
So as that goes, they can go to my website and my Twitter account. I always tweet about where I'm at. But mainly I want them to continue to listen to The Quiet Fire and continue to make that the #1 show here in Baltimore. Because I feel I've been so blessed, you know. And God is love. I give my show back to the Lord every night. Yeah.
So give them the information and the time that your show is going to be
My show is called The Quiet Fire. Sunday through Friday, 7 until midnight. And I do love.
You put out a lot of fires, I know.
They tell me I make a lot of babies in Baltimore.
That's what I said.
I go to events, like the station have events, and I see these kids, when we used to have our Stone Soul picnic. My mama said I was conceived to your show. So I've been on there 22 years. So if I meet somebody 17 or 18 years, that's what they tell me. This one man, he met me when I met him, he says, "Hi, you're Lolo. You should be in jail." I said, "Excuse me?" He said, "Yeah, I made 3 kids off of listening to your show. You should be locked up." He probably still have his wife. He don't need child support.
Testimony, especially in this business.
Yes,
so.
yes.
And
And I am the veteran at the radio station.
Wow.
Yeah. Randy Dennis and Tim Watson, they're there, but they've come and gone. I've been the one steadily there for 22
Are you
years.
thinking about retiring anytime soon?
Retiring, I'm going to retire when I can get that off the ground and that can sustain my lifestyle. Because I really, really want to give back. I feel that I've been blessed. And when you're blessed to be a blessing.
That's right.
That's true.
And this is my way of giving back to the Virgin Islands, where I'm from.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Wow. You have any kids?
I have a son. He's 25 years young.
Okay, now he
Yeah,
wanted to see,
that's
watch,
it.
and listen to your.
And people ask him, "Is that your sister?"
You look too young now, the 25-year-old.
Really?
Say that.
Yeah. He says it's embarrassing when they ask me that. Yeah.
That is
But,
awesome.
Does he also work in the industry behind the scenes?
My son is assistant manager at Walmart. At 24 years old, my son bought a house.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I'm like, at 24, I was not thinking about buying a house. But he's very smart. When he was going in grade school, he was known as the candy man, because he would go to Sam's and buy candies and sell them at school.
He was hustling at early
One
age.
time he was bad and I shut him down. No more selling candies. Checks started coming to my house. $100 checks. Where are these checks from? He went on eBay and started selling. He had these cards. Yeah, he would trade cards. Yeah, he said, "Well, Mom, you said I couldn't sell CDs. You didn't say I couldn't sell anything else." So when he went to college, first year he stayed on campus. Second year he got an apartment and he got roommates. And he started telling me, "Mom, I'm going to get me a house and let my roommates pay for it."
Yep.
And 3 years later, that's what he did.
See, you
Yeah.
had a good example in you. See that?
Yes, yes. A lot of people tells me he takes after me with being an entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur spirit.
Yeah, that entrepreneur
So he's a
spirit.
serial entrepreneur. He does it all.
Yeah, he does it all.
That's
Very
good.
smart young man. I'm very proud of
You
him.
want to give him a
too.
shout out?
Devon, I call him DV. Lots of your folks, your friends call you Neville. Devon Neville. Mommy loves you. Proud of you too.
That's good. That's good. What about to your mom? If your mom is listening to you, you want to,
Mommy, I am so glad that you're with me, Edith Milliner. And they say being a caregiver is a rough job, but you know, I would have it no other way. And to put you in a home, that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to take care of you, love you. Mom, Edith Milliner from the Virgin Islands. She wants to go home so bad, but she's in a wheelchair. And the health care in the Virgin Islands is not adequate. She gets better health care up here. And in the Virgin Islands, we have stairs at the house that she has to walk down. She can't do that. My dad, he wanted to go home as well. My dad stayed with me, and the doctor told me, because he lived with me in Baltimore, I added 2 years to his life.
that's good.
Awesome.
That's good.
Yeah,
That is awesome.
Good nurturing.
yes,
That is
yes.
awesome.
Take care of them, because a lot of facilities, they don't love your parents. your
Speaking
loved
of
ones.
facilities, my dad was in a hospital and they took him to what they call a rehab center. It was basically a home. I kidnapped my dad out of the home because I saw the treatment, you know. And so when I went to the home, my dad was complaining all the time, you know, "Get me out of here, I don't like this." And something just told me, tell these people who you are. And I told them I'm Lolo from Match 95.9. That was a game changer.
Oh, they scared. They were scared.
Everybody wanted to take care of my dad. They wanted autographs, and I was like, this is not the place for it.
Exactly.
You know, just take care of my dad. And I was hurting for the...
They wanted your autograph, but they also knew that you could sue them.
Oh, okay.
Because the fact that they weren't doing the right,
Right.
providing the right care for them.
Right.
And they knew that you brought a big stick with you.
Right. And my brother came down from New York. And one Saturday, we just went and got my dad.
Awesome.
Took him out of there. And they came to my house. said I did something illegal. I said, Dad, would you please come down here and tell these people that this is where you want to be? And that's exactly what he said.
Awesome.
I think the motivating factor is always the insurance. Yeah, the money, the facilities, and these people look at it as a job, and they're not passionate about it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's such a blessing, and that's why your life is such a blessing, because you honor your parents, and that is, you know, you touch my heart by that, because a lot of times, as they get older, we forget about them, and we don't want to take care of them.
Yes.
But
Like they took care of us. Yes, exactly.
So-
And you know, they say twice a child.
Yes.
And it's
Right.
so true, twice a
Yes.
child. Yeah.
Yes, but they are so worthy. But could you look in our cameras? We're so glad that you were here today.
Thank
and
you.
your story and everything that you're doing in the Virgin Islands with the Health Encores Tour, Lifestyle Tour, is a blessing. And just tell our viewers, speak your heart.
I love Baltimore. You know, I've lived so many different places, and when I came to Baltimore, this felt like home. Thank you so much, Baltimore, for making me a part of your life, for listening to the show. I want to invite you all to St. Thomas Virgin Islands. I want to invite you all to St. Thomas Virgin Islands, July 16th through 19th. Come and support a health initiative. Be entertained. And again, I love you, Baltimore.
Wow. Now give me a radio show again, because for all the listeners that's listening to you right now, they want to learn how to make babies on love music. I mean, Rick,
My radio show is called The Quiet Fire.
it's called
on
Mama
Magic-
Lolo Baby Makers.
It's called The Quiet Fire on Magic 95.9, heard Sunday through Friday, 7 until midnight.
After you praise the Lord, then you praise each other and turn on Lola.
And remember, God is love, and I do a love show.
That's mine. Yeah, that's great. That's, you know, great to have you on the show today.
Thank you
And,
so much.
I know that you had a little challenge, and we're praying that that you too should come through that, coming through the fire with no smoke smelling on you whatsoever, and you be better than what you originally was.
And you guys are invited to the Virgin Islands.
Thank you so
We
much.
will throw a party for your birthday. I promise you that.
Thank you so much.
Yes, man.
And thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.